I'm here at Rockerfield Festival, joined by Katie and Jules from the Ting Tings. How are you doing today?
We're very well, thank you.
Yeah, good, sunny out, that's alright.
I know, the weather was predicting to be thunderstorms today.
You can kind of feel it in the air actually. My hair goes frizzy when a thunderstorm's due and it's starting to grow sideways, so yeah.
I can relate to that. I've got enough hairspray on there this morning to kind of deflect the frizz.
Yeah.
You've been playing quite a few festivals at the moment, and you've now made it to kind of the well-renowned Rockerfield Festival in Luxembourg. Now, how does that make you feel?
Good, we've never been here before, so it's nice to come and say hello, you know. We feel good. It's kind of a bit too hot, which is surprising. I thought, you know, it feels kind of humid like in Japan for some reason, doesn't it?
Yeah, but we know we're not in Japan.
Seriously though, you did play Glastonbury on Friday, and that was your third time there, was it not? And the first time you were there, you were playing the introduction stage, and what was the difference like for you on Friday?
Well, the first time we played at the introducing stage was like, I don't know, 50 people. The second time we played was the John Peel tent at about 18,000 people, and that was a panic gig because I guess a year on we'd had a record out, had hits, and it was our first big audience. We'd been playing to sort of 1,000, 2,000 before that, and then all of a sudden there's like 20,000 people in a tent, and we were panicking. I mean, we've never done anything like that before, so it was very memorable. And then obviously we went back on Friday to play, I guess, 45, 50,000 people on the other stage. And it's been a fantastic trip for us because the introducing stage, whole of Glastonbury event, had really supported the band from when we were putting our own records out, and to go through that cycle. And we had a lot of friends there on Friday that were part of what we were doing at the beginning, and it was amazing because we had a fantastic show. We came off stage and they were all backstage, and we all kind of hugged because we've been this whole kind of cycle, 2-year cycle, back at Glastonbury again, and it's very rewarding. I mean, we're pretty humbled by it, I guess.
It's been just over a year since your album was released, We Started Nothing, and it's been kind of huge, a massive year for you. What are kind of some of your highlights? Do you have any that you can kind of dump down for us?
Yeah, first one was actually finishing the album because, you know, we've been in bands from being really young, you know, from being about 13, 14 was our first band, so to actually finish something, it's weird. As a musician, you always have these ideas and then, you know, you dream them up and then you get about halfway through them and then it all goes wrong, you know. And to finish something we were proud of was great. We won an Ivor Novello Award, which was totally, you know, knocked the wind out of us because we didn't even dream that we would win it, so we didn't go, you know. And then we won the best album, which was such an honour because it was, you know, voted for by other writers. And this year's Glastonbury was one of the best shows we've ever done. Normally, you know, I'd get very nervous for a Glastonbury just because, you know, we grew up with it and it's, you know, it's a big show and there was like 50,000 people all looking at us, and we didn't. We really relaxed and we enjoyed every minute of it. So yeah, there's loads, many, you know, crazy gigs in Japan, you know. Lollapalooza in America was a great festival, stuff like that. Did you ever expect it to get this huge for you guys?
No, not at all. I mean, we gave up on our last band. No one gave up, it all went wrong, and we gave up on sort of trying to be a band, and we had this studio space or art space in Salford, Manchester, so we used it to throw parties, and that, I guess we'd done about 6 or 7 of those, and I think at one point we actually, because we were DJing and we were playing kind of one song for 20 minutes, just getting people dancing, you know. We thought for a minute that we were starting, I mean, not consciously, but semi-consciously, we were part of like a let your hair down frustration Saturday night gang with all our drunk mates, and it went from like 20 people to 100 people, and we couldn't sell beer on the premises because I guess it was illegal, so we had like, you know, big gold TVs we emptied out and asked people just put donations in there and take beer that we had in big dustbins, you know. And we'd get up next morning with big hangovers with our mates, and we'd go through these TVs, and there was enough money to pay the rent. And I kind of think at that point we thought, this is what we should do, this being in a band, let's just run nights where everyone can have a good laugh and we can actually pay our rent. And that just developed, that gave us that kind of platform to sort of put more songs on the stage, and Katie started playing guitar for the first time, and all of a sudden there was this energy that we'd found we'd never had in anything we'd done before, in bands we were in before, and we didn't look back from there. We put our own records out, and it was like a real Manchester kind of factory setup, you know. We really believed that we were doing this new kind of, you know, the Joy Division, the New Orders of the world.
Party thing.
Yeah, it sounds really interesting, especially because you evolved together. How do you think you've grown?
Well, I'm better on the guitar now for a start. I was really bad when we started because I think we played our very first Glastonbury about 6 weeks after I, you know, picked it up for the first time, and you know, spent the entire show looking at my hand. But I think, you know, I think in a way we're the same band that was just playing those house parties. We just learned how to play on a bigger stage, you know, but we still have the same kind of sentiment, don't we? It's not super polished, you know, super high-end, you know, auto-tuned pop. We do it all ourselves, from the artwork to, you know, writing, everything we do ourselves. We're very particular about, you know, not kind of handing the work to everybody else and losing our identity. So yeah, we're the same band.
I suppose everyone kind of wants to know where you're going next, and musically, have you started thinking about writing and a second album? How are you feeling about it? Are you a little bit apprehensive about it after the success of the first one?
No, not really. I think the worst thing you can do is think that you've got a career to lose. You know, we started this just because we loved what we did, and you know, if you suddenly feel like you have to impress 2 million people that bought your first album, you know, I don't think it's a good way to go into writing. So we're trying to make ourselves feel like we're a real unsuccessful band that's never achieved anything. Just so then, you know, I think when you're creative, you've just got to write, and whatever comes out naturally, and not really give a shit what anybody thinks. And then if they like it, great, and if they don't, it's bad luck, you know, because you just got to be creative. You know, we have songs on our phones that we're kind of singing into all the time, and on our laptops, but we only start recording it in October, and then I think the actual sound of it will come together. And we're not planning it. We didn't plan this album. It was just, you know, hit a few things and see what it sounds like.
But you've made specific time off to kind of go in the studio and bang one out.
Yeah, we're gonna. yeah.
So to speak.
Yeah.
I'm working on that one. Yeah. We've decided what we did. We obviously recording this album. We did it in Salford, Manchester. And we did it in an environment. We're very much into art spaces. I studied fine art. Katie done a lot of costume design, and it's very important the area that we're in. We need a lot of space, so it's not just about recording, it's about partying and throwing artwork up on the walls and seeing what happens. And we did that in Salford, and it, you know, like semi-consciously, it worked really well. And we just thought we didn't want to do it again, because I mean, all our friends, we had great parties, but it kind of, you know, regurgitating the same thing wouldn't be right. So on our travels, we fell in love with Berlin, and we were lucky enough to find an old jazz club there that closed down X amount of months ago. It got busted, I think, for drink and drugs or something. So it's got his and hers toilets, proper like a club, you know. It's in the basement of an old warehouse, and we fell in love with it, so we rented it for a year. And we put all our studio out there. And the idea, I guess, is because we fell in love with the space, like we did in Manchester, is to feel inspired by that space. I mean, like Kate said, we never put anything down. We don't write any songs complete. On the road with acoustics, everything starts sounding like Bob Dylan, you know. So we just leave everything off, and we just on our phones, and then we're going to get there in October when we finish touring, and turn the lights on and turn the electricity on. And first thing we're going to do is, we've got a lot of friends out there, artists and, you know, directors, photographers, you know, you name it. And we're just going to have like end of touring parties. You know, in our studio we set up, we just start pressing play and record, and it's similar to what we did in Salford, but with a complete different, you know, surrounding, different language, and so it's going to be interesting, yeah. And that's what it is for us. It's got to be interesting. If it was about making an album for a record label to exploit, that would be the most boring thing in the world.
So, do you speak any German?
Nein.
Mein Deutsch ist scheiße.
That's about as good as mine as well. Okay, well, thank you very much for spending some time and talking to me. Very much appreciated, and have fun today when you're on stage. Looking forward to seeing you. It'll be my first time, and I'm very excited.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.